Before the video starts, I just want to say that I posted a short like 2 years ago playing Pokemon Rumble, and for whatever reason that video only got like a couple thousand views at the time, but recently I think because like a bigger YouTuber made a video only doing like shiny challenges for Pokemon Rumble, my video absolutely exploded. It's got like over 300,000 views on this short, and I've gained like over 100 subscribers, and the last time I even posted myself was like a month ago and I only had 100 subs or something. So it just completely exploded for whatever reason. And I made this video after I saw that video doing so well. I was like, wow, people want to see some Pokemon Rumble content. So about like a year or so after, I made a full-length video, and it took me like a couple weeks to edit just because I work like a 9-to-5 job and I'm terrible at editing anyways. But I just thought that, you know, with the recent explosion of this short, I would repost this one because right now I think it's only sitting at like 19 views or something. And I mean, hey, with the new subscribers and everything, I figured people might want to see it if they don't want to go chasing down this video in my thing. So I was just going to re-upload it. So to the people who did see it, I'm sorry. To the people who haven't seen it, I hope you guys enjoy. It actually took me a while to edit. Again, I'm terrible at editing. I don't really have any time for it. But yeah, also saying that I never had a video actually like explode like that with as many subscribers and everything that came with it. So I don't really know what to do. I don't know if people only subscribe to see Pokemon Rumble content. That's not me. I'm never going to just play one video or just do one thing. So if you subscribed, really appreciate you guys, but you can unsubscribe if you expect more Pokemon Rumble content, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do with this channel. I literally only come on here if I have a video idea or if I want to talk about something at this point. I might play some more games and just do like commentary on games, or I might talk about some in real life stuff or like post some reviews. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Anyway, it's just don't subscribe if you guys only like want to watch one certain thing, because it's never going to be my content. I'm never going to be like a Fortnite player who just plays Fortnite for the next 10 years and rides that success. Can't be me. Won't be me. But yeah, also I'm not consistent at all. So even if you do subscribe, I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a while. It is a re-upload, but yeah. See ya.
Pokemon Rumble, initially released in June in 2009 for the Nintendo Wii, was a staple to a lot of people's childhoods, including mine. An alternate take on the Pokemon games where instead of you being a trainer and leveling up Pokemon, you are the Pokemon battling with other Pokemon in hopes of when you knock them out, they'll join your team trying to get stronger and stronger with each new Pokemon to unlock the Battle Royale. In Pokemon Rumble, you start off with the weak little Rattata trying to enter the Battle Royale, but get creamed by a fat-ass Wigglytuff who missed dinner time and thought Rattata was a piece of shit. I'm getting ahead of myself. As you can see, just playing this game would be a blast, but there wouldn't be much of a video that I could make out of that. Instead, I decided to add some challenges to make the game a little harder, because everyone on YouTube for some reason is a sociopath and they just can't enjoy you enjoying something. Now, even if you really don't know the game, or even if you do and the rules seem a little weird, I'll break them down more as we go, but for the bare bones of them being explained, there's 6 and they go as followed. Number 1, I must use the newest Pokemon I unlock. Remember, in Pokemon Rumble, once you defeat an enemy, you have a chance of them becoming a playable character. Switching constantly allows me to not use the most overpowered Pokemon that I got, and creates for the game to become a little difficult, like getting a Pokemon with Will-O-Wisp who can only burn the opponent for 1 damage, or getting a Magikarp who only knows Splash. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Number 2, I can't beat the Battle Royale with a Pokemon that has a higher BP than the Battle Royale minimum. Using a weaker Pokemon than recommended just makes it so the game is a little more difficult when jumping into it. Number 3, I cannot use the Move Tutor Shop more than once per Battle Royale. The Move Tutor Shop is a shop you can spend your coins on to teach your Pokemon a new move or replace a current one. In Pokemon Rumble, there are moves that are just simply OP and moves that are just Splash. Limiting myself to only 1 use per Battle Royale ensures if I do get a bad Pokemon, I have a chance to make him better, or to have a chance to learn a second status move that only poisons people for 1 tick of damage, ensuring the slowest possible gameplay that makes watching paint dry seem like an amusement park. Truthfully, I feel like he could have added more paint. Number 4, I cannot buy more than 1 Pokemon per Battle Royale. Much like the Move Tutor, the Pokemon Lottery has a chance to generate any Pokemon currently playable. This can cause you to get really high BP Pokemon before completing all the stages, or cycle moves if you get bad ones. Just little too OP, so we had to set a limit on it. Number 5, I must complete all 6 stages before going into the battle royale. Normally to get a Pokemon that has high enough BP, you have to complete 3 or 4 stages only, so this again isn't much of a challenge, but I just wanted another way to increase the longevity of the game. Number 6, I must kill every Pokemon on the level. So this wasn't initially in my challenge card, but after the first level, I realized I could just run past all the Pokemon to get to the boss level as quick as I could, but that would cancel out a bunch of the other challenges I set in place to extend the life and challenge of this game, so I added it in ASAP. And with those being the rules, here's how it went. So after losing the battle royale with Rattata like we saw earlier, the Silent Forest is the only stage that gets unlocked. Jumping into it, they teach us how to play the game, but we already know that, so it's off to start attacking Pokemon. The first Pokemon you unlock is Pikachu. With Pikachu now, it was fun. I was having a blast. We actually became buddies. That friendship was short-lived though, as soon after I got a Paris. I had to switch to him, but with Paris we made short work of getting to the first boss, Ivysaur. Being the first boss, he wasn't difficult or anything, and we even unlocked him after we beat him, which was pretty cool. Beating the first stage unlocks the rest of the stages, and you go in them in whatever order you want now. It also unlocks all the shops at the bottom of the map also. With that said, we hop into the second map. Where the boss has our literal character, he kinda stomps on everyone, until we get a Spearow to even the playing field and go from 12, 19, 17 damage to 3. Yeah, that's why switching to every new character you get is an important rule. That Spearow turned into a Rattata, which turns back into a Spearow. However, this is the point where I realized I couldn't just switch the second I got them anymore. I had to make sure the coast was clear, or this happens. Okay, you don't actually lose, you get 3 lives, so I was considering putting 1 life as one of the challenges. However, I knew going into this that if I get a Magikarp or Splash, there was just no way of clearing the map, so it'd be an automatic lose. And if I get a Pokemon with only status moves, since the Battle Royale is timed, you would run out of time before completing any of them, again, making you lose. So having 1 life was just not possible, unless I added some stipulations to it, but that might have just been too confusing, so we stuck with some basic rules to make it easy to follow. However, if you guys want a more challenging video on this, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. This Windy Forest map was giving to say the least, as we went to Raticate, to Lickitung, to Meowth, to Rattata, to Dodrio, to Dodrio, and finally back to Meowth as our last character to face a boss. Persian. Fitting, right? After defeating Persian, this is our first time heading to the release point, a shop in the game where you can release a Pokemon you've obtained. Sorting by recently acquired made it so much easier to know and remember which Pokemon we had to keep and which Pokemon we could release. By Pikachu. After releasing the Pokemon we couldn't switch to if we wanted to, we hopped into Fiery Furnace. This was the first time I actually felt like I made a big mistake because we got a Vulpix with only Will-O-Wisp, and Will-O-Wisp only does 1 damage per tick. And it's not like hitting them with it does more, kind of like Poison Sting where it leaves the Pokemon poison but the move itself also does damage. No, Will-O-Wisp only does 1 damage. So we had to wait for every single Pokemon to die. But hey, if we just get another Pokemon, we could switch into that one. Those are the rules after all. Or so I thought. Pokemon drops are random, however if you daze a Pokemon before you kill them, they're a guaranteed drop. This works on every Pokemon but the boss. So even though Will-O-Wisp doesn't damage them when you hit them, you still have a chance to daze them for a guaranteed unlock. However, Will-O-Wisp only does 1 damage. Every time I dazed a Pokemon, they would undaze before I could kill them. So what does this mean? It means Vulpix has to try to kill a Charmeleon. Now, in a boss fight, they have 2 attacking moves. One is a move that's geared towards what the Pokemon can actually learn, such as Charmeleon here using Ember, and the second move is one that every boss can use, and it's a Spinning Rock move. So with Vulpix, we managed to get Charmeleon down to a 1/4 health, and when I thought he was going for an Ember, he used a Spinning Rock throw to knock us out. Switching back to our most recent Pokemon, Mankey, we managed to knock out a Charmander and actually obtain it. With Charmander now, we knock out Charmeleon with ease, and that's a clear for Fiery Furnace. A quick stop to the release point, and the next thing we know, we're in Bright Beach. And this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. At the doorsteps of Bright Beach, we knock out a Magikarp and obtain it. Now I could have splashed until my heart went water, but instead, I almost immediately returned to the terminus and hopped into Eternal Tower. Eternal Tower was pretty uneventful. We basically just got a Drowsy with Headbutt and cleared the entire thing with no problems. Even the boss Marowak only did a sliver of damage to us, but after heading back from Eternal Tower, we discovered we had gotten a Pokemon with over the 100 BP requirement to open it up. But because of Rule 5, we have to clear the last 2 maps before we can enter it, so it's back to Bright Beach. Now, Bright Beach is going to be easy as long as we don't get a Magikarp. Alright, we're in the clear. We do end up getting a Poliwag, Poliwhirl, a couple Tentacools, but we actually made it to the boss Wartortle this time. Fighting Wartortle, we end up not getting 1 Squirtle, not 2 Squirtles, but 3 Squirtles before we actually defeat the boss himself. And after defeating him, instead of hitting up the release point, we just eagerly hop into the 6th stage, Rocky Cave. In Rocky Cave, since it's the final stage before the Battle Royale, the Pokemon you get are going to be the strongest so far. So each Pokemon we were getting were over 100 BP, so defeating it was no problem at all. Arbok almost did take a life from us though, but we managed to avoid avoid its tackle before killing us to kill it and finish the 6 stages. Before heading into the Battle Royale, I went to the release point to release all the Pokemon I had with over the recommended BP, since Rule 2 states I can't beat it with the Pokemon that has a higher recommended. With all my other Pokemon gone now, it only left me with 2 Poliwags and a Drowsy with only 73 BP.
Brother, what's that?
In Pokemon Rumble, each Pokemon has an attack stat up to 5 and a defense stat up to 5. The Poliwags I had a defense and attack stat of 1, and Drowsy had an attack stat of 1 and a defense stat of 2. I knew that in the Battle Royale they were going to be fully evolved Pokemon with almost max stats of both, which means I really didn't want to get close to the Pokemon since it would be so much stronger than me. But 2 out of 3 of my Pokemon had up close and physical moves, so I used the one move tutor that I had saved in hopes to get an attacking move that had some distance, and I got Waterfall, a move that would put me in more danger if I used it than if I didn't. So without any help from the move tutor, I headed over to the recruit point to use one of my Pokemon rolls in hopes it'd be better than what I currently had, and it was a Poliwhirl. Now, the BP shows it has more than 100, but if you pull a Pokemon from the recruit point, the game caps its BP just before the recommended BP for the Battle Royale. So in Rank C, the minimum was 100 BP to enter, which means my Poliwhirl is capped at 99, making him eligible for the Battle Royale. It's a little cheeky, but it breaks no rules, so with that being said, it's time for the Battle Royale. Although Poliwhirl was definitely stronger than Poliwag and Drowsy, he still wasn't doing a lot. If you remember, the very first Ivysaur we had gotten actually did more. We did take a bit of damage at the beginning, so we had to do a bit of running around, and attacking them from a distance was definitely our best friend. But not too long after the 3 bosses joined the battle, we were done. We had unlocked the next rank and we were ready to progress. Okay, now, in Pokemon Rumble it gets a bit repetitive. When you progress in the game itself increases in difficulty. However, each new rank has the same 6 stages, just with different Pokemon in it. So if I were to go through each stage again and everything I did, it would get pretty boring. So we're just gonna rapid fire each Battle Royale to close off the video. In Rank B, to enter the Battle Royale, the minimum was 200. We had a Weepinbell and an Executor in our party that was higher than that, but it was just because I was too lazy to go to the release point. So we went in there with a Seaking and a Pidgey only. The Seaking actually carried us into the last 2 Pokemon, then a Machamp pummeled us and it was time to bring out Pidgey. Pidgey only had a power of 146, so he was weaker to say the least. Using the border of the map, which when hit by you or an enemy Pokemon does pretty massive damage. Using the border damage, I was able to take out Machamp with Pidgey and it was on to Rank A. In Rank A, I remembered to say a 3rd Pokemon this time and release the others. So with a minimum power of 400, staying under that, we had a Blastoise, Starmie, and Squirtle. We ended up not needing anything other than the Blastoise, as just firing a spam barrage of flash cannons wiped the Rank A Battle Royale with ease. Finally, onto Rank S. During the Rank S stages, we actually had the most luck. Getting an Articuno and Zapdos boss drop was definitely cool to see. Unfortunately, since Articuno was obtained early in the stages, we had to get rid of him as we obtained newer Pokemon. And Zapdos is one of our last Pokemon we received, but he was over the 600 power recommended, so he also had to go, which only left us with a Kabutops, Rhydon, and Alakazam for the Battle Royale. This was actually the trickiest Battle Royale yet. My Kabutops died pretty early on, then my Alakazam got hit by an acid shot killing him, and it was only left to my Rhydon. Now this Rhydon only had Stomp and Takedown. I tried to use Stomp as much as I could, as using Takedown does recoil damage to myself. However, time was definitely ticking away waiting around, and using Stomp got me into some pretty dangerous situations. At the end it was just me versus Mewtwo, and using Takedown was really eating away at my health. Mewtwo ran up towards the border, and now it was really dangerous, because if you remember, hitting the border does damage to your character if you hit it also, and on this low HP with a Takedown recoil, it definitely killed me. But I went for it anyways. Using Takedown on Mewtwo hit him into the border, killing him a millisecond before the Takedown hit us into the border, killing us. And just like that, we won the S rank Battle Royale. Now, the funny thing is this is only normal. There's 2 more difficulties after this, Advanced and EX, with way harder Pokemon and Battle Royales. But we're gonna stop here. If you guys would like the video on those, definitely make sure to drop a like, a comment, and consider subscribing. This isn't a normal video I usually make, but I'm trying to be consistent with YouTube, maybe dropping a gaming video every Sunday, and I really like in real life content too, so maybe one of those videos every Friday. I don't know. What I do know is I appreciate you guys watching.